Good morning, my friend, and welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. Good to have you with me on this Wednesday morning. And a beautiful day outside this morning, and we're getting on into the week. Looking forward to another great day from the Lord tonight. Looking forward to being back with our church people here. You're at the church. Hey, if you're in the Oklahoma City area, come join us. We're going to be a part of the church that is doing something. I encourage you to get out here, join us, get part of it. You won't be comfortable in church. You want to become when. If you truly want God to do something in your life, I'd encourage you to come join us tonight. 7 o'clock, as we begin our series on the art of communication. I would encourage you to come be part of it. Bring some gift and we teach some things for the Word of God that will be helpful to all of us. Today, let's talk about the key to bountifully reaping. In Exodus chapter 9, verse 6, the scripture says, "But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall be also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall be also bountifully." Now, sowing is never an option. It's not an easy process, by the way. God doesn't command us to just, well, if you want to. No, it's part of the process. When I worked in strawberry fields out as a teenage boy out in California, the one season I really hated was the sowing season. We would get boxes of seedlings, and we'd take that seedling as a little plant about this big, and it was always hard work. You get a little shovel, those hand shovels you take. You'd hit it in the ground, you'd pull the ground back, put that seedling in, then you'd pat it around. Now that we did that all day long. Now we got paid less for the sowing season. It just didn't. You got paid by the hour instead of by the picking the box. That we would get less when we got started getting strawberries in. But the sowing of the seedlings is what allowed us to reap a great harvest of strawberries. The work it took to reap bountifully was not easy and did not seem to pay that much. But it was worth it when the reaping season came. Now, God gives that promise that you will reap according to your sowing. Now, understand, sowing is not easy. If you sow sparingly, your harvest will be a sparse harvest. But if you sow bountifully, your harvest will be a bountiful harvest. It all depends on your sowing. I don't know. I want a bountiful harvest. I want one that's just coming. I remember when I picked strawberries. I loved it when we got into the biggest part of the reaping season, as there's plenty of strawberries there to reap, and boy, we can really just see a lot of fruit coming in. Now, the same thing with the Christian life. There are 4 things in the sowing and reaping process that we often miss that produces the bountiful harvest that we're all looking for. So let's dive into this. First of all, there's a vision. Somebody had to have the vision to believe there could be a bountiful harvest. So you cannot reap a bountiful harvest if you don't have the vision for it. Nobody has had a bountiful harvest who did not first have a vision of what could be done. So get this now. I think of Dr. Dallas Billington, total song leader. He built the largest choir. He was the largest church in America. Now, brother Billington had a great large church, but it started with a vision. Every great work that reaps a great harvest starts with a man having a great vision of what will happen. Second, there is faith. Faith is always the next step after having a vision. A vision without faith is a mirage. So get this now. But a vision with faith is the catalyst of great work. So Jesus said in Matthew 9:49, says, according to your faith, be it unto you. So if you have a great vision, it will help you to reap a great faith. Now, your faith is according to the sowing of your vision. So notice that according to your faith, be it unto you. So it's how much I act. That faith is not the and the things. How much I'm stepping out on it. It's what I'm doing. It's how much I'm really going after it. God to be unto you. So the greater the faith. So if I want a more harvest, I got to have a greater faith. Reaping a bountiful harvest is the direct result of having a great faith. Third, there is work. Faith alone does not produce a bountiful harvest, my friend. In fact, in faith, there is great work. And it's that great work that produces the bountiful harvest. James 2:17 teaches us, even so faith, if it hath not worked, is dead, being alone. Now, faith needs work to make its vision a reality. So get this now. Those with great faith are often or will be the hardest workers. So you only reap a bountiful harvest by working your faith vision. I can say, well, I got a vision for this to be done. Wonderful. Now do something about it. Have the faith to step out. And when you step out, it's going to take that faith requires a lot of work. Now, I'll never get there unless I have a lot of work. Now, your work effort determines the harvest. Those who reap a bountiful harvest are those who work the longest hours and work the hardest. So understand, you can try to say all day long, well, I have a lot of faith. And no, if your work's not there. It's not that. I know people don't like it when I post about people being saved and people being saved and baptized in our church. And whatever. It doesn't bother me. And I know that there's some Pharisees. Well, I just don't want to flaunt it. Whatever. That's fine. But the reason why they don't like it is because they know it takes hard work for this to happen. And the fact is, it's just that somebody is working hard, not just me, but a church. So you've got to have a lot of hard work. If these people who are critical and get upset about us posting what we do here, if they don't like it, then go do something yourself. Instead of sitting there getting nothing, instead of sitting there writing your books trying to destroy everybody, instead of sitting there criticizing how we lead people to Christ when you've never one time come sowing with us, then I think if I was you, I think I would just shut up and go do something myself. I'm always amazed how an evangelist can talk about the importance of leading people to Christ and souls being saved. They don't ever go out soul winning. Understand, when I was an evangelist for 28 years, every week I was going soul winning. Every week, getting that church where I was at, converts that led to Christ there that week. You say, why? That's the work of an evangelist. A guy who just wants to go around and preach a sermon without going soul winning, he's a lazy bum. Don't have him in. The pastor that was here before I took the church, Brother Daniel, his wife, who's my secretary, she told me, she goes, Brother Daniel, you know why my husband had you in every year? I go, why? She said, that's what she said. She goes, you were the only evangelist that we had in that would ever go soul winning. She goes, every other evangelist would never go soul winning. He always scheduled soul winning times while I was here. So I was able to go out. My assistant pastor, Brother Sandy Harjo, I remember one time I was here. He reminded me of the story. He said it was a snowy day. He said, I thought there's no way Brother Don was going to show up on this day. He says, and lo and behold, we're out soul winning. And Brother Don was there, and he even he remembers me leading someone to Christ. Now, get this now. What was that? The work. It's old-fashioned work. If a guy's not willing to work, and by the way, you guys can call yourself an evangelist. If you're not going soul winning, get out of evangelism and go pastor a church and build something before you go into evangelism, because it takes old-fashioned soul winning. If you're not doing that, then what are you doing? Just because you can put some cliches around and you can alliterate a sermon doesn't mean squat. I get tired of these guys traveling all the time and never leading anyone to Jesus Christ. This thing is all about the harvest, my friend, and it does take old-fashioned work. Now, there has to be patience to reap a bountiful harvest. You got to be patient with the process. You do not reap a bountiful harvest immediately. Trust me, this is where I struggle the most. I want everything to come right now. But Galatians 6:9 promises, challenges, be not weary in well-doing, for in due season ye shall reap if we faint not. Get this now. Many had a great vision and turned the vision into faith and hard work, but then they weren't patient, and then they quit before the process could do its work. My friend, if you're going to see a bountiful harvest, there's a process of sowing and weeding and nurturing and it growing and it getting a little bit of fruit, and then you start picking it, and then it becomes a bountiful harvest. But if you don't have the patience to wait, you're going to quit, and then it squelches all the hard work that you've done. Oh, don't give up on the great faith vision, my friend. We got to do what we're supposed to do, because there is a great harvest, and this harvest is worthy of you and I staying faithful. This thing, oh my friend, a bountiful harvest. That's what I want. How about you? Do you want that? I challenge you today. Get busy in this harvest. Get busy going soul winning. Get busy. Have a faith vision. Do something big. And let's see what God can do. As we end out the year, start planning your faith vision for next year that you're going to do something big for God. Understanding it does not happen without hard work. Simple as that. Well, I hope this is a help to you today. Now, let's remember today be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time.